So an organization like the University of the Poor attracts some of the finest elements of the working class who are thrown into motion by the attacks that rain down on our class every day from the ruling class. And we see our task as to equip these emerging leaders with theory, the lessons of the history of working class struggle, which when combined with the practical leadership and responsibility that these emerging leaders have assumed in the class struggle, steels these leaders to achieve victory in the struggles that we face in the effort to reorganize our society around the interests of the mass of humanity. So I want to say that this is not a college course. If you've come for a college course, you're in the wrong place. That's not what this is. What we're doing here is not attempting to churn out college graduates, as Willie Baptist likes to say. That is not what the University of the Poor is about. We're about equipping us with valuable lessons without which there is no hope for our class to attempt to win in the goals that we've set for ourselves and that we must set for ourselves. The lessons of this course must speak to the vast organizing opportunities of today, but also the problems and challenges of organization and leadership development. This is an introduction to the UPOR's history and political strategy area of its curriculum, but also the rest of the UPOR's curriculum, which includes the study of political economy, the study of philosophy, the study of the poor organizing the poor, and the study of the Bible and mental terrain. We do not see this course as a break from organizing. Rather, this course is an opportunity to organize the organizers, leaders from various fronts of struggle, sections of our class, various regions of our country, and even international here with us tonight, who are in serious need of further forging and steeling for the tasks that lie ahead of us. And we believe
the Malcolm X. And so wanting to play this quote of Malcolm X from his speech message to the grassroots, which for many of you all who are familiar with our network, many of our OGs were directly inspired by this speech, but thinking about why we study history. So let's listen for this.
Of all our studies, history is best qualified to reward all research. And when you see that you got problems, all you have to do is examine the historic method used all over the world by others who had problems similar to yours. And once you see how they got theirs straight, then you know how you can get yours straight. Of all our studies.
Okay, so so let's take it there. Of all of our studies, history is best qualified. Did folks have anything that came up for the late great General Gordon Baker of the League of Revolutionary Black Workers in Detroit, and of course the UAW? There's two quotes that we pull from General Gordon Baker that we use often in our struggle. The first is, our task is to make thinkers out of fighters and fighters out of thinkers. What does that mean for us here today, folks that are engaged in this nonviolent struggle of the poor and dispossessed, for us to not only be fighters, but also to be thinkers? And then the second quote, history is the rock we stand on. And if you are not on the rock, you're on sand that will get swept right out from under you. History is the rock we stand on. And if you are not on that rock, you're on sand that will get swept right out from under you. Kim, I love your artwork. Do you want to say anything about these quotes? Either of them?
Thank you. And no, I was just saying I love these quotes. I resonate with them a lot.
Anyone else? Someone that we haven't heard from yet? I can't see anyone, so if you're.
Was there a question? I
Oh, I'm
wasn't
just
paying
wondering if you would like to reflect on the quotes.
Our task, where are we? Which quote?
Our task is to make thinkers out of fighters and fighters out of thinkers. That's the first one that we're thinking about. And thinking about us as folks that are in the struggle. What does it mean to be thinkers in this struggle, as well as fighters?
Right.
And then the second one is history is the rock we stand on. And if you are not on that rock, you're on sand that will get swept right out from under you.
Well, I did the homework, and I was proud to say to my small group that I learned what the running abolitionist is and what the writing abolitionist is from the study before. And I'm happy that I was able to learn that. And I think that correlates to our task, is to make thinkers out of fighters and fighters out of thinkers. I'm a writer. I've wrote a few books, and at the same time, I'm definitely a fighter and I'm definitely a runner. I got to run. I actually was just in Georgia. I was at Ebenezer, and I had to mobilize some folks down there because that church, Dr. King's historic church, and Reverend Warnock, Senator Warnock, I felt like they could definitely make a change, a difference, and they have already made a change and a difference. And I'm grateful because there was a big conference that the Multi-Faith Ending Mass Incarceration Initiative that was started out of Ebenezer was able to put together. They had their second year of the conference, and I went every day and I learned so much and I met so many great people. And last week we had a meeting, a Zoom meeting with, here in Delaware where I am, our state senator. She's the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee. We had a meeting with her, and now on Friday we're going to have a meeting with the governor, and hopefully he gives a pardon to a man that's been locked up for 46 years, not for murder, not for any kind of crazy assault. He's been locked up for 46 years for armed robbery and assault. So God willing, we can get that pardon from the governor on Friday. That meeting leads to this man being released and a lot of senior citizens being released, because the 3-strike law, we know, keeps people enslaved, and those elders, those seniors aren't a threat to anybody at all, and they need to come home. So I'm thankful for being able to run, for being able to fight, and for being able to write sometimes. You know, when you're running, it's kind of hard to write when you're running and you're trying to put all your thoughts down on paper, but we can do everything that we can with help. It's great to have help.
Thanks, Dee. That's very helpful. And yes, and this is exactly why we're studying in this space, so that we can support each other in our development. We're studying history because history gives us the confidence that we need.
Really answering that, but my thoughts were that it wasn't the North or the South that won the Civil War, it was Wall Street that won the Civil War. I mean, to roughly paraphrase Du Bois. Yeah. And it seems like our job is to figure out, you know, well, how does Wall Street work now? And what is Wall Street doing now? And how has the working class changed, as well as how has Wall Street has changed? Because that's where the battle is. And a lot of the other stuff you hear is just distraction, you know? So that's what I really appreciated about Du Bois, just get to the heart of the matter and you know, just kind of read American society in the post-war era. And that was just a general impression I thought was really powerful.
Right on. Thank you, Barbara. I'll take one more. Someone else?
I would say that, unfortunately, we're not post-war and we're not post-slavery.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Okay, I'll take that. There you go. That was very concise. That's a good perspective to take into consideration here.